Hello everyone, thanks for joining us again on Triumph of FX channel. So today I'll be sharing with us a very important trading method or technique, which is this weekly and daily open. So I trade with the weekly open in combination with the daily open. And apart from that, I'm going to be explaining some other trades that I took this week on divergence, on correlated pairs, then New York open plus liquidity grab, and liquidity grab on yesterday high and yesterday's low, or what we normally call the previous day's high or previous day's low. Now, these trading methods we give you consistent profits if you stick to the rules that are attached to them, right? So I'm going to be sharing all the trade setup I'm going to be sharing with you on this video were taken by me this week. So not all were profitable. I had some that hit stop loss, I had some that didn't get to entry point, and I had some that hit take profit that gave me good profit. So in an excuse me, in a whole, this week was a very profitable week for me, right? Okay, let's start with this. This is gold starting the week on Monday. So this is under the weekly and daily open, right? So this is my 1 hour time frame in combination with the 5 minutes time frame. Now I want to be taking this trade at the London open. Meanwhile, I want to know the position of my weekly open. So this was Monday and market open at this point. So this forms a weekly open, this line, and also a daily open, right? So this line will continue to run till the end of the week, but that is my point of interest, right? It's not where I'm going to take the entry, but that is where I'm looking forward to taking my profits, right? So what I want to do is, once I have my weekly and daily open line, apart from Monday, on Tuesday, but apart from Monday, every other day, the the weekly open will be in a different position from the daily open, right? So I'll wait till London open. As soon as London opens on the 5 minutes time frame, if the price is below the weekly and daily open line, and the London session started still below the weekly and daily line, I will buy. I'll look for buy setups. Then the opposite, I'll look for sell setup. So the rule is price must be below daily and weekly open, and the New York section will start below the weekly and daily open for me to buy. Then price will be above the weekly and daily open line, and the the London session should open above the weekly and daily open line before I will sell. So on Monday on gold, I had this. You can see price is below the weekly and daily line and the daily open line, and the London session started below it, below the line as well. So I'll start looking for buy setup. The only thing I'm looking for is this: I want to see price create a low. Then you see this level here. When price open during the London open, I want price to break below the London open. So if price, this was the London open here, this bullish candle, this was the open. So even if it price opens here, I want price to still trade below it before I start looking for a buy. So London open at this with this bullish candle, then price, this was when price broke below it. So I would take this high and wait for price to break above it. On the retest, I will buy. So price didn't get to that point and price came down below. The next high is this. I'll mark it. I'll wait for price to break above it. Nothing happened. Same thing here. Price booked to this level, drop down. This will not be the high for me to look out for break of microstructure. Price drop, could not get to that high and continue to drop until this point where we have this high. And we are looking at the last bullish candle that forms the high. So price drop, and I saw that price broke above the last bullish candle here. It must close above it. Then I mark the 50% from the from the low till that high. I mark out my Fibonacci. Then I wait for price to come to 50% of that markup or the other block. Then I take my entry. My first take profit will be 1 to 2. So if I take my entry here, this will be my 1 to 2. This will be my stop loss, and I'll take the weekly open line as my final take profit. Right, so that is what happened on gold, and let's see what happened after then. So I was waiting for price to come in to retest, then I take my entry and see what happened. After price traded above, consolidated until it got into my entry zone, and this is when I took the entry. Here, and price started moving well. So at this point, price has hit my 1 to 2. So I took only one entry on this, so that was how I got my take profit instantly. Right, so this was when price hit my profit. So you can see price broke structure here, that is break of market structure, came back into 50% of this high from this low, and that is the entry. Target is 1 to 2 for your first take profit, and you can target this for your final take profit. So same thing happened on silver XAG USD. You see price is below the weekly and daily open, and London session formed below the same line. So we want to see price drop below the open of the London session, so which it did here. So preferably I also wait for price to drop below the Asian section. So this is the level of my Asia essential price, drop below it. So what happened here, you see when price drop, I wait for price to break the structure, this high. So what happened, price broke and closed above it here. I mark out my Fibonacci, then wait for price to pull back to 50%, then I take my entry to target 1 to 2 as my first take profit. So let's see what happened here. Price moved into the zone, and this was when I took my entry here, and price started moving well. I took 2 entry on silver. This was when I hit 1 to 2. At this point was my 1 to 2. Then finally it was cleared up. So I didn't wait for here. I just, after 1 to 2, around 1 to 3, above 1 to 3, I closed the final entry. So that was it. You see price drop, price open at the London, this was the London open, price pull up and drop below it. Price should drop below the London open before you buy. Preferably allow it to drop below the Asian range. So when price drop, just look for price to break structure, market structure, price come back to retest 50% of that level, then you buy. That was it on silver. Then Euro USD, the same thing, all the criteria met. And what happened here? This is the high. Price broke above it, but didn't close above it, so I waited until price closed above it here, come back to retest, 50% retest. Then I took my entry at this point. I was able to get my 122 on Euro USD on Monday. Then this was NZD USD, the same thing happened, all criteria met, and we'll see price here broke above the high. Remember, we are looking at the last bullish candle that forms the high. Then price closed above it, waited for price to come to retest 50%, which it did, and that was my entry. I was able to get my 122, but I didn't screenshot that here. I was able to get, you can check it up. That was Monday 21st during the New York London session. You see price, I got my entry and I got my 122. Then this is USD CHF, same thing happened here. This is for a sell. You can see price is above the weekly open and daily open. Then London session form, open above the same line, and after that price moved above the open level, the open line of the New York section, and also break above the Asian range. So you see price broke structure here. When it broke it here, I was waiting for price to come back to retest. My 50% was here, but price didn't get there and dropped further, so I adjusted my fib to this level, and 50% will be here for me to take my entry. But as far as I had a pullback here already, I will wait for price to break above that pullback for me to take my entry, and that's what happened here. I took my entry here and I was able to get my 122 on USD CHF. That was my 122. Then USD CAD, same thing happened as it happened on USD CHF. You can see all criteria met, and price, yeah, this was my swing low here before this high. Price broke below it and the rate test. This bearish candle closed below it, and the next candle moved into it. That was my entry here. So I took my entry on USD CAD, and USD CAD dropped a bit, but it didn't get to my 122 target and took me out. So I had a loss on USD CAD on Monday. Then we now had a GBP USD setup for a buy. Then this was my swing high. Price dropped and was able to break above it here, so we had a break of market structure here. I waited for price to come back for the retest, which it did, and I took my entry, but that was a loss for me. See, my stop loss was here, just a bit somewhere here, and price hit it, and that was a loss on GBP USD. So GBP USD and USD CAD were a loss for me. So after that, you see price continue to move up. Then the next set of trades I took were the ones I use correlation, divergence on correlated pairs. So you can see this is gold and this is silver. You see here on silver I was having higher high here, but on gold I was having higher lower highs here. So, and one of my criteria is I take entry when price is being rejected from the moving average. This is 150 exponential moving average. So after this rejection, I took my entry on silver alone. Then this was what happened. So I was trying to put my stop loss somewhere here, but I was not allowed, so I moved it up, and this was the end of it. So it dropped massively. Then this is New York open with liquidity grab. So I have a video on this, you can check on my group, you see, you can check my channel and see the video on trading New York session. That is a video that explains into detail how to take this entry. So at the open of the New York section, I want to see that price is still below the daily high, the highest points of the day before the New York open. Then I'll wait for price to break above the high. Then when it drop breaking structure, I'll wait for price to pull back into 150% Fibonacci, and this is happening on 1 minute and 15 minutes. Then I take my entry. So I posted this on my Telegram group. If you can join my free Telegram group, the link is on the video, on the description of this video below. So I was waiting for price to come back to this 50%, then I take my entry, but this is what happened. Price didn't get there and drop, but later moved up, but it was late already. You see that. Then I had another setup on divergence of correlated pairs. This was Euro USD and GBP USD. As you can see, price we're creating higher lows, and here price created a lower low. So I was expecting price to break above this level, come back for a retest, then I'll buy. So at this point, it was not rejected from any 50 moving average, but it was happening at the low of the day. So what happened here? So this was my expectation for price come into here at this box, then I'll take my entry, but price didn't get there. And once price exceed this level, I will not take any entry, any trade again for the New York session. So this didn't get to my entry, right? So I had another trade on Tuesday, which is USD CAD, using the divergence on correlated pairs. So USD CAD, USD CHF, you can see price will created a lower low here, and here you will see price was creating higher lows here, right? So I took that advantage, and this is what I used to take my entry on the 1 minute time frame. I saw price created a high, a low, higher highs, higher low. So after 1, 2, 3, then I'll wait for price to come for a retest. So I want to see a low here, then price creates a higher low, then creates a higher high, then I'll wait for price to come back to retest another block or a fair value gap. And that is what I used to take my USD CAD entry. So this line was the entry. So this was when I took the entry, took 2 entries here, and this was when I hit my first take profit, and price didn't get to my final take profit anyway. So that was for USD CAD. Then this is the same thing on the weekly open. You can see this was Thursday. So on Thursday, you can see the weekly open line was still here, and daily open line was here. All were above, the price was above the 2 lines, and London session form above them, and after those session open, price still moved above the open and above the Asian range. So I mark out my lows here. I was waiting for price to break structure, but he didn't. Move back again and mark this and broke structure. So I was expecting price to come back for retest the 50% Fibonacci level, then I take my sell, and that was what happened. This is gold, and this was a trade. So this was happening here. So this was a 50% level. This is where I took my entry, and price pull above, almost hit my stop loss, but later continued to drop, right? And that was it. I was able to get my first take profit cleared. The following day, which was Friday, was when I got my TP, right? So finally, today, Friday 25th November, I was able to catch this trade, and this happened using yesterday's high. So price grab liquidity on yesterday's high. This 30 minutes time frame, and I have this demand supply zone here. So this is a yesterday's high, previous day's high line. Price broke it, and on the 1 minute time frame, I saw price created my 3 steps. As I have a lower low, this should be a higher low. Price created a lower high, created a lower low, pull back for retest this fair value gaps. But when I waited for price to break through this low before I take my entry. So this was when I took my entry, targeting the previous day's low and this low. So this was my entry. I was looking forward to taking my first take profit here, and when price dropped to this level, it pulled back to my entry level, and I was able to take another entry here. And this was where my first and the last entry was cleared out, and I was waiting for my final take profit at this level, which is around the previous day's low, and that was how it was cleared out, right? So if this video makes sense to you, please do well to like it, share it, and if you have not subscribed to this channel, do well to subscribe. Click on the subscribe button and the notification bell to be alerted anytime I upload a new video. So this video is around 23 minutes. I've started doing 2 videos every weekend, but I just want to combine everything together so that it will be just one video. Right, thank you so much, and I wish you a good weekend and a profitable week as we enter the new week next week, for the last week of the month of November. Thank you, and God bless you.